Helen! Helen! Get on in here, woman. That boy looks like he done did it again. No, I'm serious this time. This is more information. No popcorn today. We gonna get our pen and paper and we gonna sit down. We gonna take us some notes because I hear he bringing more information about what's going on. No, the last video was something else, and then that one talked about some event that's coming up, and you know I gotta be there. But no, we gotta get our pen and paper because we gonna learn some stuff today. Now, I don't want to be entertained today. I just want to gather some information, but we know we gonna be entertained. That's right. You sit in your chair, and I'ma sit in my chair, right chair, and we gonna be right here to pay attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, we're going to let Al Green play in the background. He ain't going to be too loud, but he's going to lull you to sleep, tell you where you need to lay your head on a pillow, because it seems like you might be a little tired of the, does it start with a B and end with an S? We're only going to take it. Don't want to go all the way to 7. Want to stay at 3. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've been telling you about the Treasury foreclosing on the Fed. Well, they didn't actually foreclose. That's the wrong word. It doesn't say they're foreclosing because they don't own the Fed. Well, they do now. 1.14 trillion. 14 trillion is the amount that this lien was set for. They're not foreclosing. What they did is they protected their interests, and that's what a UCC1 does. It protects someone's interests. But notice, I want you to pay attention to a couple of things, because I tried to tell it to an elite group of individuals because I thought they were going to do something with it, and they ain't did nothing. So since they ain't done nothing, I'm going to tell you what I discovered. Notice it says the United States Department of the Treasury, 1789. I sent correspondence to that address. You see it where it says 50 Maryland Avenue, Rockville, Maryland, 20850. You would not believe it. I'm promising you won't believe it. Guess who is at that address? No, it ain't Henry Kissinger, and it ain't Elvis. No, her name is Loretta E. Not Loretta Scott King, Loretta E. Knight. Okay? Who is Loretta E. Knight? Well, let me tell y'all who Loretta E. Knight is. Now, before we talk about Loretta, $14.3 trillion. And they filed an agricultural lien, the most powerful of all liens. Did you notice it was an agricultural lien? Well, let's take a look at something. You ready? There it is. Here's the actual document filed, and they paid an extra $50 for expedited service, and they remitted it. It was remitted. Now, I want you to pay attention. This was an amendment of an assignment. The total fees were $75. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to something. You see, IRS Technical Support Division, care of Treasury UCC Contract Trust, Internal Revenue Service. Another name, huh? Another legal name. The Treasury UCC Contract Trust. Interesting, ain't it? Well, let's continue to scroll down because we ain't finished. Loretta E. Knight. There's that name again. Loretta E. Knight. Well, is Loretta E. Knight, y'all? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me help y'all understand who Loretta E. Knight is. I received a letter, and in the top of the page, it says Loretta E. Knight, clerk of the Circuit Court of Montgomery County, 50 Maryland Avenue, Rockville, Maryland. 20850, the exact address I sent it to. And it says the United States Federal Reserve System's address is 1500 Pennsylvania, Northwest Washington, D.C. Well, is that the United States Federal Reserve? Interesting. Because that's not where the Federal Reserve is located. United States of America. Then it says organization ID. This is the ID for that organization, country, U.S., and so forth. Now, y'all still want to know who Loretta is. She's the clerk of the court. The clerk of the Circuit Court of Montgomery County. She's a county clerk of the court. What's a county clerk of the court doing being the agent? What is she doing being the agent? Interesting, ain't it? Well, I called their office. There was a gentleman who answered the phone. His name was Paulius, Paulius Klimas, Klimas. And I could be spelling it and not spelling it, but pronouncing it wrong. But I doubt it. Because when they wrote it back to me, they put HC3 box 8948, Lattice, Puerto Rico 00669 without the United States. So they actually addressed it to me correctly, without the United States. But what's the interesting part of all of this? Well, let me tell you, it's not a secret. What do we have here? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have. We have their address, United States Department of the Treasury. Oh, I didn't read the letter to you. You see where it says United States Department of the Treasury? Well, the letter is just one long sentence. The enclosed documents were sent to the incorrect address of the United States Treasury Department, 50 Maryland Avenue, Rockville, Maryland, 20850. Well, I went and looked at the envelope, and I took a real good look at the contents inside and the address on the contents inside, and they were not sent to the United States Treasury Department. No, they were sent to the United States Department of the Treasury, 1789. Remember, the legal name must go on here. Not just any name, the legal name, because that's the person who is allowed to collect. So it has to be the exact legal name or you don't get nothing. Well, they tried to play me like I was dumb. Sure did. And oh, by the way, let me tell you what I didn't notice, because I wasn't really paying attention to these docs. I didn't know that Loretta E. Knight was the individual. I had no idea who Loretta E. Knight was until I looked at this letter, and I took a look and I said Loretta E. Knight. And then as just before I'm doing this video, I scroll down to her name, and I'm like, this idiot tried to play me for a fool, tried to pretend that he didn't know what I was talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see. No, can't show you that one. That's the new Our Style money orders, and y'all don't get to see that. Sorry. Working on it, adding some more stuff. This is the letter I'm writing to Loretta. And this, I haven't proofread it yet, but this is the letter I'm writing to Loretta. Let's make it bigger, y'all. It's coming from the Redress Commission and Readers' Right Organization. Let's make it a little bit smaller, y'all, so y'all can see what I see. It says, as you can see by the attached information, the United States Department of the Treasury, 1789 is the official name, and the address for that entity is the address that the presentments were mailed to via certified mail. Now, you are indicating that that address belongs to the Circuit Court. However, the Secretary of the State of Maryland requires that the legal address for the entity filing the UCC along with the legal name be placed on the public record. In the process it's supposed to be and. So let's just get rid of the in. Uh-oh, wasn't supposed to do that. We're going to have to do that right there. Okay. We're trying to do this. The process service information must a company, not supposed to be the company. See, the speech recognition, y'all. Let's let it correct itself. Okay, the filing. When you do find the proper department these items go to, please make sure to inform them that the clock started the day you received the items, however misdirected, and federal law requires a response within 14 calendar days upon receipt. It truly surprises me that you did not know what I was talking about when we had our conversation over the phone. That is why I am glad that all calls are monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. That's right, it's recorded, y'all. It is my hope that we can continue this process in a manner that is not as disrespectful as you opening up the envelope you claimed was misaddressed and then returning them as if someone had sent it to the wrong corporation. The United States Treasury Department is located in Washington. If one were looking to file documents with the United States Treasury Department, they would do it at 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C., 20220. In other words, idiot, if I wanted to send it to the United States Treasury Department, I would send it to the United States Treasury Department. However, it is clear by the way that the envelope was addressed and the certified card and the address on the outside of this building that you happen to work in, that the items, let's do the S, were properly addressed. See, we got to do were. It's proper English. And sent to the proper parties. Any interference with the right to petition for redress, the First Amendment right, will result in sanctions in one form or another, as you are an employee of a court building, a private corporation, though it may be. You should know better, and your conduct leaves me deeply offended. You idiot, is what I'm saying. Now, I copied and pasted this so that he could have the address where he can go and look it up, and I highlighted this part right here. Okay, Federal Reserve System, don't really need that there. Department of Defense and Finance, but look at that big bold print right there. That's right. That's so he can understand it. Now, you know what I noticed? And I'm noticing this now. I have noticed it, but I hadn't noticed it. There is no space between 50 Maryland. And I don't think that that's by mistake. Let's go back and look at the document as it was filed. Oh, no, we have to go. No, this is their page. This is a video someone asked me to take a look at. Nope, can't do all of that. There it is. See, 50 Maryland Avenue. This is the way it is on this page, but I don't know how it is on the document, and I'm going to be looking at the document. What we've done is we pulled up all of the documents. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Acknowledgement. Okay, that's what we haven't been doing. Now, these are all of the acknowledgments for just that one filing number, that one document number. What document number is that you're talking about, son? Well, let me show you the document number that we put in the search. This one right here. Okay, the Federal Reserve System. Now, notice all of the individuals, secured party added, debtor added, assignment. Look at all of the additions that they've been doing to this document. Original financing statement. Yeah, I want to see the original financing statement. 7/28/2011. And then it won't let me do the right click. You gotta do the right click. Okay. I'll view the document by just clicking on it. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, let's see Okay, it's not going to do it. Oh, yes, it is. United States Department of the Treasury. Now, let's view the document. I want to view the actual document because I'm going to print it up. So, like I said, I was working with some other people, giving them hints as to where I wanted to go and what I thought they should do, and they just sat back and did nothing. So I'm going to tell the rest of you what I was going to do. The Treasury filed a lien on the Federal Reserve System. So I was going to file a lien against the Treasury. I just don't have the time to do it, ladies and gentlemen. But what I do know is that the Treasury tells us exactly how to do it. Now, while that's pulling up the page, and while Tevin is singing in the background, it's nighttime, I got a light on, and this is the tropics. We can't have no mosquitoes coming in my house, so I gotta close windows. Sorry! Okay, got a lot of information to talk to you about, and I'm gonna upload this tonight by tethering. That's right, I'm gonna be tethering. Okay, we got a copy of Loretta Scott King. No, not that Loretta, y'all. See, I want to see the actual document. So we're going to have to pull up the number here. Copies. And let's see. Now, for some of you, yeah, let's let that pull up. To give you a better understanding of what's going on, what I was telling people is there was a time when there was this thing called the commercial lien process, and where people were putting liens on judges and people and so forth. Well, here was the problem with that. And it was a problem. They were doing it wrong. In many ways, they were doing it wrong. That's why the judges were able to kick it down. But what I am trying to tell you is, pay attention. These idiots just did it. And they just showed you how to do it. So what you want to do is you want to do exactly what I did. You want to pull up every single document that was filed in this case. It says no pages containing, but we just found this page as a result of putting that number in. These poor people. And sometimes it loads up properly and then sometimes it don't. You see how it didn't load up here? But then I had to keep refreshing the page like, wait a minute, where are we? Okay, that's me hitting the enter button because I'm a little frustrated with the fact that it don't want to load up the right way. Well, look at there. Do y'all see that, how it just don't want to load up? And it knows what I'm looking for, but it says, no, we know exactly what you're looking for. You looking to cause some damage. Okay. They showed you how to do it. They even showed you that it must be an agricultural lien. I'm going to tell you, copy, plagiarize, do exactly what they did. Nothing more, nothing less. Do exactly what they did. Y'all don't hear me though. Because they're showing you exactly what you should be doing. But y'all don't hear me though. Those of you who are fighting these banks, file a lien on them. Follow the Treasury's example. Well, how do I get that document? How do I copy what they did? Well, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to download every single document that they filed. And if you don't know nothing about UCCs, take the time to read the instructions. If you don't know what a secured party is, take the time to type in Google, what is a secured party on a UCC form? If you don't know what a debtor is, then you're in the wrong place and you are not supposed to be watching these videos. Okay? You don't have to worry about termination because you're not terminating anything. You don't have to worry about continuation because you're not continuationing anything. You can worry about assignment. There are tons of videos out there telling you how to fill these out. A lot of information telling you how to fill these out. But they showed you how to fill these out. You don't believe me? Look at that. Public finance with assignment. United States Department of Defense, USA Department of Homeland Security, the clerk, Hall of Justice. This is what they did, people. This is how they did it. They are showing you how they did it. And you notice they didn't put the United States. They said the United States of America is the jurisdiction. Imagine that. And notice what they put for organization. We're going to have to look up that information right there. It says a trust. Ooh. Type of organization. The Federal Reserve System is a trust. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know that. Interesting. Es pluribus unum, the United States of America. That's how they list the organization's name. So you want to file a lien against the United States of America? This is how you file the name against this entity here. Now, you see this right here? I don't know if that's a hyphen or not. So guess what I have to do? What you gotta do? Well, I gotta save it. No, can't save it that way. That will take too long. Give me un momento, people. We'll be able to see now that e pluribus unum, how that's done. Because it's in this wording here. I know you all may have seen the video where I highlighted that the last time. All you got to do is pay. There is no hyphen before the E. But all you got to do is pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do, honestly, is pay attention to the way I provide the information. Because I'm going to highlight the stuff that most people are going to overlook. Why? Because most people don't know how to break things down. This is a puzzle to me. And I'm very good at taking puzzles apart. Oh, when they lock you up, they're going to be making jokes about that. They're going to be saying, do this puzzle. Figure this puzzle out. Watch and see. So I am very good at figuring out the puzzle. Now notice, the United States Department of the Treasury, 1789. Look at the address. Okay? So guess what I'm going to do now? I'm going to make a copy. Because I'm going to send this to them idiots too. Now, printer should start just a second. There it is in the background. We're not worried about the seals. But this is a commercial affidavit, not a point of law. The same thing the guys were telling us in the commercial lien process. We were doing commercial affidavits. Well, you don't have to do a separate affidavit. The actual UCC-1 in Puerto Rico is called an affidavit. So this is an affidavit. And it is a commercial lien. Let's go down further. I think we might find some more interesting things. What do you say, children? Oh, okay. Well, look at that. They showed us exactly how to fill out everything. Look at what they did for us, y'all. Okay? They told us who else we need to be filing a lien against. So, I tell you what. I'm looking for someone who would like to help file a lien against the United States Corporation. Out of many, all 50 states, all cities, countries, properties, one real estate in the United States of America. This. Look at that. Look at this. Look at the first, middle, and last name, ladies and gentlemen. With trust in God, this real estate is with the public as all real men with hands and legs and all real land of the United States of America. This is how they list themselves, all real men. So when we go into court, we say that we are a real man or a real woman. Be as extracted with prejudice into the United States of America, state of California, on this 15th day of July, 2011. A security commercial affidavit, not a point of law. What is not a point of law? Commercial affidavits. Interesting, ain't it? Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, if you pay attention to this document, you will find out one interesting thing. They just showed you how to fill out a UCC-1. And it's going to cost you. Because you notice what they put here? Public finance. UOPFA. Interesting, ain't it? Certified copies. Interesting, ain't it? And these are filed in Maryland. And notice the stamp they put on here. San Jose, California. People, I promise you. Yes, I know. Don't worry about me. I know how much trouble I can get in for pointing out these simple things. Okay? I know how much trouble. Okay? Now, what I'm going to suggest is that for you guys to put your whole name here. The whole thing here. Now, no. I'm sorry. What you need to understand, I'm not saying that you put it there now when you do that. No. If the secured party wasn't a corporation, I would suggest you put the whole name here. No first and middle, no suffix. The whole name. Like Robert Evan Johnson. Robert E. Johnson. Okay. Put the whole name here. And you can download these forms from the Maryland Department of the Treasury. Yes, I know. So stop it. I know how much trouble I can get into for revealing this information to you all, because some of you are not going to do it the right way. So I am needing 2 persons to contact me via email at redressucc@gmail.com who've had experience in filing UCCs and who's willing to listen. I would like to put together a lien against the United States Corporation and all the corporations thereof and all of the 50 states in behalf of the sentient, self-aware, 2-armed, 2-leg men and women of the United States of North America. We don't have to allege anything. I also want to do it against the Federal Reserve System and the United States Department of the Treasury, 1789. Who with me? So what I'm trying to tell the rest of you is you're all going to be included. So you don't have to email me telling me you want to be a part of this if you don't know nothing about the UCC. If you don't know nothing about financial statements and how to fill them out, then I'm going to send you on your merry little way. I'm going to tell you you're wasting my time, and I'm going to block you from emailing me. There's a special request for 2 people who know these forms. Just that simple. God. And who are willing to help with the cost of filing them. Okay, now that's the hard part. I ain't got no money to be filing that. Then don't contact me. Right now, over the next week, I'll be spending pretty close to $5,000. I'm on Social Security. I just got a settlement in a case in New Mexico. And so all of the money in that little small claims matter is going to structure. Oh, that's what I was supposed to get into. Okay, the Legal Redress Commission is getting ready to set up a foundation, an LLC, to help protect individuals and their properties from thieves and trespassers. We don't want anybody trespassing on our property. I didn't say trespassing. I said trespassing. Nobody should be interfering with the trust. Now, at the event that's coming up, we're going to talk to everybody about getting rid of that Sesta KV trust, reestablishing or redoing the trust. We're also going to be telling you about some other things we're going to be implementing, and we're going to be helping people secure themselves and their property. I know some of you out there are saying, oh, you're going to get in trouble. That's okay. A little bit of trouble ain't never hurt nobody. Okay, this video will be up tonight because I don't want to take any chances of not putting it up. Now, this is a law, the Germain Act. Some of you who are into financing, I'm going to suggest you look up the Germain Act. Okay, I promise you, you're going to find it interesting. When it was brought to my attention by GS, that's right, Gross Standard Products, I said to myself, I need that act. No matter what, I need that act. So he sent me the link to Google search. See, he didn't just send me the act. He says, there's Google search. Search for it yourself. And there was no me getting upset or anything. But it was better than the person just sending me a link to a video saying, here's the link. No, that doesn't work. And notice the Germain Act is included under 12 USC, the Federal Reserve Act. Preemption of due on sale prohibitions. We gonna do some reading. Y'all don't mind reading a little bit, do y'all? Because reading is fundamental. Haven't said that in a long time in a video. Now, let's look at the definitions. I'm trying to get the screen to move over, but it's all the way over as it is. All right, we got definitions. The purpose of this section, the term due on sale clause means the contract provision which authorizes a lender at its option to declare due and payable sums secured by the lender security instrument if all or part of the property or any interest therein securing the real property loan is sold or transferred without the lender's prior written consent. The term lender means a person or government agency making a real property loan or any assignee or transferee in whole or in part of such a person or agency. The only problem is nobody qualifies as a lender because nobody ever lent or made a loan. The term real property loan means a loan, mortgage, advance, or credit sales secured by a lien on real property stock allocated to a dwelling unit in a cooperative housing corporation or a residential manufactured home, whether real or personal property. The term residential manufactured home means a manufactured home as defined under Section 5402G and Title 42, which is the Housing Act, which is used as a residence. And the term state means any state of the United States, of the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and North Mariana Islands. Never heard of them. American Samoa, and the Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. That jump was something I had not seen before. The Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands. Interesting, ain't it? Oh, wanted y'all to notice something else. The term state means any state of the United States. The District of Columbia. Wait, are you telling me that the District of Columbia is not Washington, D.C.? No, Washington, D.C. is not the District of Columbia, and so many of you have mistaken it. Washington, D.C. is a state, but the District of Columbia is a country. No, say it ain't so. That's what they are telling you. But we've known that for a long time, haven't we? We know that the District of Columbia is a 10 square mile area. Just that simple. The loan contract and terms governing execution and enforcement of due on sale option and rights and remedies of lenders and borrowers' assumptions of loan rates, notwithstanding any provision of the Constitution or laws, including the judicial decisions of any state to the contrary. A lender may, subject to subsections of this section, enter into or enforce a contract containing a due on sale clause with respect to real property loans, except as otherwise provided in subsection D of this section. The exercise by the lender of its option pursuant to such clause shall be exclusively governed by the terms of the loan contract. So we're going to stick to the terms of the loan contract, and we're going to go to C. State prohibition applicability for prescribed periods, subsection B provisions, application upon expiration of such period. Loans subject to state and federal regulations and subsection B provisions when authorized by state laws or federal regulations. Not concerned about that. It told us to go to D. Exemptions of specified transfers and disposition. With respects to a real property loan secured by a lien on residential real property containing less than 5 dwelling units, meaning your home, including a lien on stocks allocated to a dwelling unit in a cooperative housing corporation, i.e. mortgage-backed securities, or on a residential manufactured home, i.e. trailer park, a lender may not exercise this option pursuant to a due on sale clause upon the creation of a lien or other encumbrances subordinate to the lender's security instrument, which does not relate to a transfer of rights of occupancy in the property. The creation of a purchase money security interest for household appliances. Whoa! The transfer by devised descent or operation of law on the death of a joint tenant or a tenant by the entirety. The granting of a household interest 3 years or less, not containing an option to purchase. I said household, leasehold interest of 3 years or less. Let's see, a transfer to a relative resulting in the death of a borrower, a transfer where a spouse or children of the borrower become the owner of the property. A transfer where the spouse or children, they cannot make it payable on demand. Due on demand. A transfer resulting in the decree of a dissolution of marriage, legal separation arrangement, or the form of incidental property settlement agreement by which the spouse of the borrower becomes the owner of the property. A transfer into the inter-variables trust. Putting it into a trust in which the borrower is and remains the beneficiary, and which does not relate to the transfer of rights of occupancy in the property or any other transfer disposition described in the regulations prescribed by Federal Home Loan Bank Board. Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called the Germain Act. We're telling you that this is going to help many of you save your homes. It's called the Germain Act. How do you spell Germain Act? Is it like Jermaine Jackson? No. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not like Jermaine Jackson. It is like St. Germain. Depository Institutions Act of 1982. This is the act. Okay? And it is Public Law 97-320 H.R. House Resolution 6267, enacted October 15, 1982. Interesting, ain't it? Wikipedia. Well, that's the act, ladies and gentlemen. So we pull up the act. Oh, that's a good act. You need to keep that act going. So we're going to ask you guys to do more research on this act. And if you find any good tidbits, send it our way so that we can let people know, because I simply don't have time to go over it. I'm sorry. Okay, let's move forward. What was the next thing we said we were going to talk to you all about? We talked about the Germain Act. We talked about the Treasury and putting a lien on those boogers. What else was there? I don't know. Oh well, we're just going to have to move on and say we're not going to keep this video going too much longer. We want to thank all of you for the time that you spent listening to these videos, paying attention. Won't be on much longer because as soon as we'll start filing liens against the Treasury and the Corporation of the United States, que sera, sera. So I felt more than compelled to put this video out because I tried to put the information. If you go back, when I first found out about this, I put a video out mentioning it and telling all of you to look at it. I said they were telling us more than what we needed to know. They told us exactly how to file a lien. They told us how to perfect our lien. And what most of you are not understanding is what's going on. In order to pay off the lien, the Federal Reserve System is buying up 40 billion. I hear buying up another 40 billion, a total of 80 billion per month, so that they can pay off that 14.3 trillion. And they're getting it in lawful money and they're converting it and fractional reserving it. And that's what you all are not seeing, but I see it. I see what they're doing. That's the problem. You need to be able to look at something to break it down to its very small participle last compound. There was a rap that said, broken down to its very last compound, LL Cool J. Okay, well that's what I do. I take things and I break it down to their why, who, what, when, where, and hows. So if you notice, who, we talked about the U.S. Treasury. What did they do? They filed well, let's see what they filed. Because y'all think y'all know, but y'all don't know. Is it on this one? It's on the other one. We got to go to the other one. It's on this one. What did they do? What did they do, man? It's not on this one either. Well, it is on this one, but I got to find it. But it's not. It's on this one, but it's not on this one. So let me tell you what they did. Let's go here. That cat I told y'all about gets on my nerves because she's got to come climb right underneath me. And I like kicking field goals. Okay, let's see. Where's that word at? There it is. Agricultural lien. That's what they did. They filed an agricultural lien. When? Well, we know it was back in July 28, 2011. Why did they do it? Well, because they said that the national debt was $14 trillion. So they filed it for $14 trillion, and they're blaming the Federal Reserve Bank for doing it and the Federal Reserve System. This, as I told you in the last video, this is what they did. The Treasury, in order to cover all of the banks so that nobody would be the wiser, they filed it against the Federal Reserve System. But as I showed you, Title 12, Section 411 of the U.S. Code says that the Federal Reserve System includes all of the membered banks of the Federal Reserve System. So the Treasury literally filed a lien against all of the banks in the United States. And nobody paid attention to that. Shame on you all. Some of you are going to say, but no, I knew that. Yeah, whatever. If you knew it, you would have done a video telling everybody else about it. I shouldn't be the only one talking about this. But go ahead. Go YouTube it. If you guys can find a video talking about what I'm talking about here today, send it to me. And I will apologize formally and tell everybody that you brought it to my attention. Because I've been asking somebody to prove me wrong to this day, and it hasn't happened yet. So if you can find somebody else bringing this information to people's attention, please let me know. I got so many haters. Oh, don't say that. You don't have haters. You have people who just don't understand you. No, I got so many haters. Look, I'm trying to tell you, they're not haters. They just jealous. What are they jealous of? Well, they're jealous of the fact that they're stupid. And they wish you were like them. Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. Well, they're going to be jealous for a long time. That's right. Because you're not stupid. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Yeah, no. Okay, see? All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough of all of that. Let me get back to the nitty-gritty. How was all of this done? That's what we just explained. They did it, and they did it without letting you guys know. They did it, and they did it on purpose. You weren't supposed to know about this. Although this was a public document, they knew you were going to find out. But they didn't know that anybody was going to tell you that this is the official name for the United States Department of the Treasury and that this is the official name for the United States of America, their corporate titles. It went from the United States Company Corporation to the E Pluribus Unum United States of America. And they put a hyphen on both sides on this right here. So those are hyphens. I'm now seeing one here, and I know that there's one there, and so there's a separator. But nonetheless, they just told us what to do. Interesting, ain't it? You notice how they put the state? They put them in lowercase letters. Oh. Wait, let's prove the uppercase, lowercase, because like I say, it's just a title. So let's prove this. Let's go back to the other document. Because this individual's name is all capitals. Okay. But notice this middle name. Interesting, ain't it? I guess this is a man. Everton? Yeah, it gotta be a man because I think that's what the M stands for, male. Okay, let's look at the other one. Oh, here it is. United States of America. U.S. Treasury Department, the Internal Revenue Service. It says name and addresses of a record owner of the above described real estate. Now remember, they say that the United States is the owner of all real men with hands and legs and all real land in the United States of America. Do you understand that? Description of real estate. They say you are agriculture. Do you understand that? And they're saying that the United States of America, the Treasury Department, that you are a slave. They own you. You don't believe me? Well, let's read it again so that you guys can get it. Sorry, I went too far down. Involuntary servitude is against the law. The name and address of record owner of the above described real estate if debtor does not have a record interest. So who do they say the owner? Oh, precious moments. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my song. Precious moments. Where are my precious moments at? The 3 degrees. That's my song, y'all. Just like the way it was done. I want you all to pay attention to what they did. With trust in God. I thought it was in God we trust. With trust in God. This real estate is with the public. You notice how public has hyphens on it? And remember, the treasurer is responsible for what? They're responsible for all obligations of the public. And so if you use this, and this is what I'm going to use, to the Bureau of Public Debt, I'm also telling you something, so pay attention, because nobody else is going to tell you this, and people have been begging me not to mention this to you all, but I'm going to mention it today. If the United States says that it owns all real men with hands and legs and all real land of the United States, and that it is entrusted with the public, then your obligation becomes a debt obligation of the United States. Some of you are going to get this. Some of you are going to understand this. But I'm tired, ladies and gentlemen. I'm tired of being the only one who understands there is no money. Notice this, miscellaneous. With this notice legal tender for all debts, public and private, $14 trillion. And then they put in parentheses, 14 trillion. Then they put another, what is that? $300 billion. Are they out of their mind? Well, no, I think that's a little bit more than billion. See, that's million. That's billion. Interesting. So, sorry, that's thousands, millions, billions. I was stretching. I took some medication the other day, and it actually gave me, believe it or not, the side effect of this medication was gout. Gout is not a fun thing. Never had it before. Have it as a result of this medication, and it will go away. No longer taking that particular natural medication. But no, please, no advice, no remedies, no, oh, if you suck on your finger for 8 hours and then you spin in a circle to the left and to the right and then you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around, then you'll figure out what it's about. None of that, please. Please. Okay. Basically, if you go back over this video at least once more, I promise you will see more than enough remedy. You'll be able to see what's going on. Anybody else providing this information? I don't think so. Will anybody else provide this information? I don't think so. Then why did I do it? You have a death wish? No, I have a wish for death. No, you don't. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I thought you were kidding. I just think that we're running out of time, and it's time for you all to have all of the facts. Remember, they're saying that they own every real man and woman in the United States with 2 arms and 2 legs. A dog does not have 2 arms and 2 legs. He has 4 legs. A bear does not have 2 arms and 2 legs. Are you getting the drift? Interesting, ain't it? Interesting, ain't it? Does a chimpanzee have 2 arms and 2 legs? Not necessarily. Medically, they'll be called something different. And chimpanzees are not men. Never are they classified as men. I thought they said we were Neanderthals, that we came from apes. Yeah, that's what they said. No proof, no validity, but they said it. But it's not a fact in law. So they knew exactly what they were doing when they said all real men with hands and legs and all real land of the United States of America. So the Treasury owns your property. They just told you all real land, real property is what they're saying. You must understand the words that they're using. And says out of many, all 50 states, all cities, all counties, properties, one real estate in the United States of America. Interesting, ain't it? Like I said, they revealed their hand. They always put it on public record because their policies say they must put it on public record. So now it's time to slap them in the face with their public record. I have some people who have fallen away. They say, no, I don't follow him anymore. People, I've never asked for anybody to be my follower. I am not the leader. Not trying to be the leader. All I'm doing, this video is a prime example of what I do. I fill in the blanks. I cover stuff that everybody else leaves out. Like I said, put me to the test. Go and find somebody else who has done what I've done with these documents. Go ahead. This stuff has been out for over a year and 3 months. So for 15 months, go ahead and take a look and find me a video or something where somebody explains everything, because guess what? Not even this site talks about it. Okay? They just ask questions. That's all they do. Then let's take one of the comments down here. I don't know, haven't looked at this. Sorry for the miscommunication. I could have been more careful with the dates. Guess it was just goes to show how this could have made it to the headlines back then, but it did not. Nonetheless, it does not mean it is still ongoing, etc. Or if it is connected with Neil Keenan, etc. Cheers. Have a nice weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter if it's ongoing or not ongoing. The fact is they did it. They did it. That's the fact. That's where we are. We're dealing with what did they do, why did they do it, and can you do it? That's what we're dealing with. So the offer for those two people to contact me will only be until Friday. If Friday, October, what's Friday this month? What's it? Come on now, talk to me, y'all. Got to pull up my calendar. There it is. Today's Monday, October 15th. So add 4 to 15. Friday is the 19th of October, 2012. So by Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, October the 19th, 2012, those two people have not communicated with me, then do not communicate with me. You're to put in regards to this matter, you're to put in the subject line, UCC Treasury lien. Just that simple, UCC Treasury lien. If you do it any other way, I definitely won't respond. I'm tired of people who cannot follow simple instructions. And if you think those simple instructions are too juvenile and too sarcastic and too simple, then don't email me. I got people saying, well, he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. It sounds like a song, doesn't it? Negative, 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 negative. But nobody talks about the information. Everybody wants to talk about me, but they don't talk about the information. And so I simply say there's a word that starts with an F, and then the second word starts with a Y. Figure it out. Okay, now getting back to reality. You know that's going to offend certain people. That's okay, because certain people offend me, and I'm supposed to shut up, be quiet, and not say anything. That's not my nature. You step to me wrong, and I'm going to correct your walking. It's just that simple. And if you need crutches when you're walking away, it's okay, because I am tired, ladies and gentlemen. I had one person comment about me speaking about how long it takes me to do these videos and how tired I am. I say that because the other day it took me 7 hours to put together a video. 7. And apparently that guy thought I was doing this for myself. People think I'm making these videos because I'm profiting off of it. Interesting. No advertisement on the site. No solicitation for funds. I did ask people for their help with the computer situation, and I really appreciate that. I did ask people for their help when, well, no, they asked me for their help, but I told them in order for me to work on those mortgages, I would charge them, and I gave them a fee. Because I don't normally do work for other people. Sorry, I was working on too many other things at that time. I had 2 people who sent me their mortgage paperwork late, and their stuff hasn't gone out. It will go out on Wednesday, but it hasn't gone out yet. Most of the paperwork is done. But if you don't work with me, I'm not going to break my neck for you. Now, it's not like I've been lollygagging and all of that stuff. I have my own things that I need to take care of, and I don't want to mix the two with each other because I need to keep all of my ducks lined up in a row so I can pick each one of them off. One last thing before we just continue this video. I want you to understand something. This document I've seen before, as I told you before. Uh-oh, You know what? I did not notice this. I did not notice this. This has been popping up every single time I pull up this document. Why is the forever stamp on here? Is that the seal? That's interesting. Let's see if it's on the other document. I would be interested. Interesting. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I do. I notice the stuff that's out of place that should not be where it is. This document right here. This is my first time going over this document. This is my first time seeing it. So everything I pointed out was that first glance. I had not opened this document up or even downloaded it to my computer prior to me doing this video. And that's what I'm suggesting that all of you should be able to do. Take a document and dissect it. Try to figure out why they did this, why they did that. Okay? All right. Oh, and look who they added. The North American Water and Power Alliance. Now, because this is down here, I have to correct myself because sometimes I do stand corrected. I remember seeing this before, so I may have pulled up this document before, but I do not remember any of this because this would have been interesting to me, but didn't have the time to look over it. This is the first time I've actually looked over it. So I will tell you that I do remember this. This notice legal tender. So I remember this part, but I never really paid attention to this document because I didn't have time to go over it. This is the first time that I've actually studied this document of any length, and I still got a lot more studying to do, which is why I made a copy of it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, we do know that the Treasury Department that we should be sending all of our discharge instruments to, and I know many of you are going to try, and I say try with me. Don't let me be the only one out there trying. It's the United States Department of the Treasury, 1789. Now look at how it is. It doesn't say the U.S. Treasury Department. It says the United States Department of the Treasury, 1789, and this is the address. The clerk of the court is going to look at you like you're stupid. So you just let them know. Send them a copy of this page. Let them know that this is the entity you're communicating with. This is the secured party, and this is their registered address. Who's the registered agent? Does anybody know who the registered agent is for this corporation? Loretta E. Knight, the clerk of the court. Amazing. That's what I say about it. It's simply amazing. Well, thank you all for joining us here at the Legal Redress Commission at readersright.org, soon to be readersright.com, and we look forward to working with all of you. The California event. People have been asking, how do I send a money pack? Well, you go to Walmart or Walgreens, like I stated in the video, and you ask them for a green dot money pack. And they will say, how much do you want to put on the money pack? And you will say, well, I got 3 people going, so $150, $150, $18.50. Okay, and then another $4.95. You have your green pack. If you got 3 people and you buy 3 green dots, that means you're going to pay $4.95 3 times. That doesn't make any sense. Does it make any sense to you, Bob? Do you still have some seats left? Yes, we have some seats left. Okay? Honestly, we do. All right. Can't tell you how many because I've been sending people their confirmation numbers all day and I haven't had a chance to keep up with it. I could pull it up right now, but sorry, y'all. I am going to complain again about being tired. So I'm going to get off of this microphone, let the cell phone stay tethering as I upload this video. I just want y'all to know that this is the information. Wait. You said there's another means of payment. Oh, Western Union. And when you do the Western Union, you're going to do it under Brett, son of Isaac. Okay, just that simple. And make son of Isaac the last name all together. You don't even have to separate them. Just do son of Isaac. They let you do that? They didn't have a choice. Remember, you get to tell people who you are. They don't get to do that. We got a lot of things coming down the pike. We got a lot of things that we're working with. Like we said, the new Our Style money orders, the upcoming event. We got the information on trusts and the information on the LLC and helping to secure people's properties. We got the mortgages. Sorry, people, we have a lot of things we're working on, and we will keep you updated on everything. There are going to be a lot of people at the event who are not going to be there to learn. They're going to be there to, like everybody else who contacts me, to fill in the blanks for the stuff that they're missing. Because there's a lot of information that they just have always known, but it never fully came together until they listened to this idiot talk about this. And once they listened to this idiot talk about it, that's all she wrote. All right. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good evening. Have a good night. We are out of here.
We've come a long way, and we got a long way to go. But I want to thank all of you for taking this trip. It's been a journey, hasn't it? We're finding out so much stuff that we would not have found out otherwise. And the fact that so many of you had so many questions, it led us to find out more. We now know that all homes are definitely insured by some insurance company or another, either the Treasury or someone else. But we know these things now. We now know that the courts are looking at us as fictions. And when you walk through that metal detector, if you don't say, "Oh, I reserve all of my rights, but I will consent to your doing this," but that's as far as the consent go, if you don't do something like that, then you're going to be a fiction throughout the whole time. So we ask that y'all stay with us, because we're going to continue to seek redress for no one else but for you.